What if I told you that some of the wildest conspiracy theories turned out to be true? We're talking about real-deal government secrets, hidden away from the public eye. From mind control experiments to hidden nuclear accidents, the US government has a history of keeping some seriously shocking secrets under wraps, but the truth has a way of coming out, doesn't it? Welcome to Our Fact Nova, where we uncover the truth they don't want you to know. Today, we're diving deep into the rabbit hole of government secrecy with 10 jaw-dropping US government secrets that were once classified but are now public knowledge. We're talking about the kind of stuff that'll make you question everything you thought you knew. So buckle up, because number one is a real doozy. Alright folks, let's talk about Operation Northwoods. Imagine this, the US government planning terrorist attacks on their own soil. We're talking about sinking ships, hijacking planes, maybe even killing innocent Americans. Why? To justify going to war with Cuba. In 1962, Cold War paranoia was rampant, and the military top brass presented this insane plan to President Kennedy. They wanted to stage these horrific attacks, blame it on Cuba, and use it as an excuse to invade. Now, the official story is that Kennedy shut it down immediately, but then, not long after, JFK was assassinated. Coincidence? I don't know, man. When you hear about something like Operation Northwoods, it really makes you question everything. Is this the only time they considered something like this? It's a chilling thought. Alright, get ready for this one because it's straight out of a nightmare. We're talking about Project MKUltra, the CIA's foray into mind control and psychedelic drugs. Imagine a world where the government is secretly dosing people with LSD, trying to control their minds. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, this was happening right here in America. The CIA used unsuspecting citizens as guinea pigs, dosing them with LSD, using hypnosis, even experimenting with torture techniques. They wanted to see if they could break someone's mind, erase their memories, program them to do their bidding. And the worst part? They destroyed most of the records, so we'll never know the full extent of what went on. The MKUltra revelations were a bombshell, showing the government was capable of doing some truly horrific things in the name of national security. Alright, let's talk about the Vietnam War, a dark and controversial chapter in American history. Millions of lives lost, countless families torn apart, and for what? It all started with a lie called the Gulf of Tonkin incident. August 1964, the USS Maddox, an American destroyer, reports being attacked by North Vietnamese torpedo boats. The news hits America like a bombshell. The American people are outraged, demanding action. But here's the thing, the attack never actually happened. Declassified documents revealed that the government knew the attack was a fabrication. They used it anyway, manipulating the American people, pushing them into a war based on a lie. The Gulf of Tonkin incident is a prime example of how easily governments can manipulate information to justify their actions. Alright, we're going back in time now to the height of World War II. The year is 1942, and deep in the American heartland, a secret project is underway, the Manhattan Project. Imagine entire cities built from scratch, hidden away from maps and the public eye. Thousands of scientists, engineers, and workers toiled away in secrecy, racing against time to build the atomic bomb. Security was beyond tight. Workers were compartmentalized, only knowing their small part of the project. The Manhattan Project was a testament to human ingenuity, but it also showed the lengths to which governments would go to keep secrets. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the pursuit of knowledge and power can lead to both incredible breakthroughs and devastating consequences. Let's talk about a dark chapter in American history, a time when the FBI was actively engaged in illegal activities, targeting and disrupting domestic political organizations. This is COINTELPRO. In the 1950s and 60s, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the FBI, under J. Edgar Hoover, saw these groups as a threat to national security. They launched COINTELPRO, a covert and illegal program designed to neutralize these groups by any means necessary. We're talking about wiretaps, infiltration, spreading of false rumors, blackmail, even instigating violence. They went after everyone: Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, anti-war activists, feminist groups. COINTELPRO was a blatant attack on the First Amendment, a gross abuse of power. It showed that the government was willing to violate the very freedoms they were supposed to protect. The CIA is supposed to operate overseas, right? Well, that line got pretty blurry during the Vietnam War with Operation Chaos. This wasn't about spying on foreign enemies, this was about spying on Americans. The Vietnam War was incredibly divisive, and the government saw anti-war protesters as a threat. So they unleashed the CIA on their own citizens. Operation Chaos was all about infiltrating and disrupting the anti-war movement. They spied on student groups, peace organizations, anyone they deemed subversive, all in secret, without warrants. When word of Operation Chaos finally got out, it was a massive scandal, showing the government was willing to turn its surveillance apparatus inward, on its own people. Let's talk about something that'll send chills down your spine: nuclear accidents. We all know about Chernobyl and Fukushima, but did you know that there have been dozens of nuclear accidents, near misses, and cover-ups right here in the United States? From the early days of the Cold War to the present day, there have been incidents where we came perilously close to nuclear disaster. Take the 1961 Idaho reactor explosion, for example. 3 technicians were killed, vaporized instantly when a reactor went critical. The government, of course, covered it up, claiming it was a routine industrial accident. These incidents, many of which were kept secret for decades, show just how close we've come to nuclear disaster. They highlight the dangers of nuclear technology and the government's tendency to prioritize secrecy over transparency. Let's dive into one of the biggest political scandals in American history: the Iran-Contra affair. This one's got it all: secret arms deals, hostages, covert operations, and a whole lot of lying. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan is president and Iran is holding American hostages. At the same time, the Reagan administration is determined to support the Contras, a rebel group fighting the socialist government in Nicaragua. Problem is, Congress has passed a law specifically prohibiting U.S. funding of the Contras, so what do? They secretly sell weapons to Iran and use the money to fund the Contras. The whole thing blew up, becoming a massive scandal that rocked the Reagan administration. The Iran-Contra affair showed how easily good intentions could be twisted to justify illegal and unethical actions. Get ready for a real head-scratcher: Operation Paperclip. After World War II, the US government secretly scooped up Nazi scientists and brought them to America. We're talking about over 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians, many of whom were members of the Nazi Party. The goal? To gain a technological advantage over the Soviets in the Cold War. The US government figured, why let all that knowledge go to waste? So they brought them to America, gave them new identities, and put them to work. Operation Paperclip was controversial from the start, but the government argued it was necessary for national security. And so these scientists, some of whom had committed atrocities during the war, were allowed to live out their effects. All of us: mass surveillance. Thanks to Edward Snowden, we now know that the government has been collecting our phone calls, emails, text messages, basically everything we do online. Remember PRISM? That's the NSA program that collects data directly from tech companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft. They're scooping up your search history, your emails, your private messages, all without a warrant. They say it's about stopping terrorism, but they're collecting data on everyone. The Snowden revelations sparked a global debate about the balance between security and liberty. It made us realize that in the digital age, privacy is a luxury that fewer and fewer of us can afford. So, there you have it. 10 shocking secrets the US government tried to hide from you. From fake terrorist attacks to mind control experiments, from nuclear cover-ups to mass surveillance, we've peeled back the curtain on some of the darkest chapters in American history. Which one surprised you the most? Which one made you angriest? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. The more people who know about this stuff, the better. We've got to keep asking questions, keep digging for the truth. Because as we've seen today, the truth is often stranger and scarier than fiction. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay free.